Elsa Schiaparelli was a rival of Coco Chanel in the 1930s, and she retired in 1954. So this is at least 50 years old. Elsa Schiaparelli. This video is for all of those who have wanted to know how I store my collection and how and why a lot of the pieces that I have are in pristine condition. If this is your first time watching my videos, I would suggest that you may want to watch some of my other videos on my collection of American, European, and Japanese couture. I have been collecting designer clothes for 20 years now, and I have every major fashion designer that has ever lived in the world of fashion. Most of the designers that I collect were designers that lived and were famous in the 1930s, 1940s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and the 80s. So this is how I store my clothes. It is just very simple. These are 18-gallon boxes, and they hold 18 gallons worth of fabric. So this section over here is 5 boxes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 5 is 30, and then I have more high-end stuff on the top. Now I started to take boxes out because I wanted to showcase how I store my collection. On this side, on this section of the storage, I have about 150 boxes, and so there is a lot of couture in here. Actually, this box right here I haven't seen in a long time, about 10 years. This would be something that I closed 10 years ago, and I just found it. And this is all 1950s Vera. And if you've seen my videos on Vera, you would know that I have probably the largest collection of Vera in the United States. Well, maybe not, but definitely I have several thousands of pieces, and my collection of Vera dresses are very important because I do have very rare Vera pieces, and these are most of these things over here are Vera dresses, and they're really cool. I think that there's about 100 Vera pieces. There's about 100 Vera pieces in this box. So there's going to be a lot of Vera videos coming soon to the Medavog channel, and so this would be an example of when I acquired the designer clothes and I close it, and then I just, well, I'm a collector, so nobody really can see my stuff, but I guess I chosen YouTube to showcase some of the things that were very important when people used to be living day by day in those decades. And as a collector, you know, I really appreciate fashion that I had to go through a lot of extent to pay for storages, for refrigeration, for security. And you know, I don't know what's going to happen, but for now I just keep on continue collecting and buying beautiful garments. This is another box. This is a very rare black label Halston turtleneck dress that it is on today's market would be worth about $2,000. Very highly collectible. This is a Lanvin original dress Very, very cool, 1970s. So most of the boxes hold 18 gallons. Now each box has a page, and then I write down what I have. Like this one is mostly all very, like, it's all Gucci, Christian Dior, Leonard, and Emilio Pucci. There's a lot of Pucci actually. And my Pucci collection is really, really important because I actually acquired a lot of the Pucci things like about 20 years ago. In the early 90s, I started buying Pucci when nobody was buying Pucci, and everything that I bought from Pucci was from the 1950s and the 60s. So I will have videos on Emilio Pucci from, and talk more about the important pieces that I have. Like this one is Saks Fifth Avenue 1950s with the Saks Fifth Avenue label from the 1950s. This is a Pucci Form Fit Rogers. It is a palazzo pant. It's not the palazzo pant that I showcased that was from 1964. This is just like a really fun piece, but it isn't that important. And then like I said, I'm gonna have a lot of Pucci men's. I'm gonna have a video showcasing a lot of my men's designer. And Emilio Pucci also did beautiful men's shirts in the 1960s and the 70s, and this is probably worth about $1,200 in today's market. This is another Emilio Pucci stunning jersey gown. So as you can see, Christian Dior, Chanel, Emilio Pucci velvet, and a lot of Yves Saint Laurent, Pucci gown, Christian Dior, and Gucci dresses. I would say